Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is September 20th, 2021, and Bitcoin is looking bad. We're currently dumping, and I believe we've just bottomed out. I believe we've found support on the previous range high at about 42.3. And so if we zoom out on the daily, which we're on right now, this looks like a typical ABC correction, right? Where you have the one leg down, the B wave, which is your A wave, the B wave, which is comprised of 1, 2, 3 ABC, right? And then the C wave, which is 5 wave down. And I don't know how well you can count these 5 waves. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, extended 5th wave, perhaps. But it looks like we've bottomed out. Good place to long, not financial advice. But it does look like when we zoom out, we're pretty much playing out that initial drop here. So this initial drop is playing out. Was this visible before? One could say yes. I personally did not think that this was going to be an ABC correction, although every correction is an ABC correction. I repeat that almost daily on this show, but for me, this flash crash, the initial crash happened too quickly for me to think that it was going to behave like a typical ABC correction, and that's where I was wrong. And I learned something. Even though this candle was 5 to 15 minutes, it still needed to play out just like a regular ABC correction. Others will say, well, Dean, it's not about what happened on the 7th of September. It's clearly the fundamental news out now about, the capitulation of the Chinese stock market and their economy affecting ours. Perhaps. But, that is sort of one possible explanation. I don't like to explain away things I missed in the charts. I personally think that it's most likely this first September 7th kind of flash crash that's just playing out completely, rather than the market just capitulating, the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets capitulating as a result of that news. It could be both. I don't know, and I guess that's the fun in it, right? We're all trying to figure this out, and I don't know that anybody knows for sure. Some people may say, oh yeah, of course, I've seen it. I knew that it was going to go down by this much. Perhaps. Some people may have called this. I do believe some people have called this. But, people had crazy targets to the downside. People had targets in the 30s, in the, 36, in the 20s. People have targets in the 10s. Everybody's kind of got a different take, but I believe that we've bottomed out here, and we've basically found support on this previous range high, and that this correction was a continuation of what happened on the 7th. So in terms of Bitcoin dominance, I see, just like I said yesterday, it's rising, right? And let's go on the weekly, actually, or no, 4-day chart. So we're in the B wave, which is the counter wave, right, in the correction. Again, ABC correction. We had that big dip from, let's say, the start of March or mid-March, and now since mid-May we've been in the B wave, so we're going to go A, B, see we're going to go up, probably hitting somewhere here, and then continuing all the way back down, which should give altcoins room to run. But in this, and I think 2 videos ago, I said within the next week, so that was 2 days ago, right? Because these are daily. I said within the next week, expect Bitcoin dominance to rise dramatically, right? And Bitcoin dominance rises in 2 cases. One, when Bitcoin's dumping, another when Bitcoin's running, but Bitcoin doesn't typically run until it first dumps. So there we go. The signs were there. I misread this. I apologize, but you don't get them all right, right? That's kind of what makes it fun. This is kind of the never-ending puzzle. Let's guess what the hell Bitcoin's doing and where it's going to go next. And the best we can do is read the charts as best as possible, at least in my case. I like to stick to technical analysis and just look at the tea leaves and try and make sense of where it's going and where it's been. In any case, let's go back to the daily. What can we expect now? So, as in most cases, after a big dump, what do we get? We have to have some consolidation. Just psychologically speaking, a lot of people got shaken out. A lot of longs got liquidated. A lot of stops got triggered. A lot of long stops got triggered. People need a second. People need some time to decide whether or not this market is safe to invest in. And so expect some sideways action for a little bit. And then I believe that Bitcoin is going to take off. And I think this is where we get our big run. And it's going to run right through this accumulation range, back up, and just slice through these resistances. And I believe that after this last shakeout, we should see all-time highs in the coming week to 10 days. That's just my hunch. All right. So that's Bitcoin. That is the market. Obviously, we're not really talking about alts. Yesterday, we said something about AVAX. So we were trading AVAX, and yeah, we've gotten stopped out. It's important. Always set stop losses, or else you're going to get liquidated. So control your risk. Stop losses basically say, I'm willing to take this trade if and only if the price goes, this way, and if it goes below, if you're longing, then I'm out at this point, right? That's setting a stop loss. Look up how to do it. It's not complicated, but if you don't know how to do it, you can't really trade responsibly on leverage, right? I'm not talking about buying and holding. Like, you buy stuff and you hold, they go up and down, it doesn't matter. In the aggregate, they go up mostly, so you're fine. But I'm talking about trading because, I've been talking about trading a little more on this channel. You always want to set a stop loss, control your risk, right? I don't use this. You can eyeball this, but let's say you entered, I forget where I entered AVAX. I think I entered around here, right? This is kind of your risk reward tool. And if I entered at around that point, 71 or 72, and my target, I think my target was 80, because that was the next. Yeah, my target was around here, 80. And then my stop loss was, my stop loss was up here around like 70. Basically, the stop loss is where your trade scenario, where you think the price is going, is no longer valid. It invalidates your trade scenario. So you'd get something like this, and basically it shows you your risk to reward ratio. It shows you what your usually you want at least a risk to reward ratio of 3 to make it worthwhile, or else they call it a gamble. Okay. So yeah, that's just basic trading. We can go into that more granularly later down the line, but today that's not important. What's important is Bitcoin, the market mover, and what it's doing. And I do repeat, I believe we bottomed out right here. You're getting a strong sort of hammer hammer candle, which is basically a candle showing a reversal of trend on the 4-hourly time frame. So that's indicative of a bottom, right? You have that big wick to the downside, basically showing that you've found liquidity, you found buyers. So this is a good place to long Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but I think it's up from here. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that was useful. If you like this, like, subscribe, share the video, and we'll see you next week.